know what love is. I want you to show me. It's a Monday, not a Tuesday. It's another Pleasant Valley Monday here in Giants land. Oh, I want to talk about the lunacy of the New York Giant fan base. We want to talk about how this isn't a fan channel. Of course, I also want to talk about the New York Football Giants and how they beat the bejesus, not really, out of the Seattle Seahawks. But we're going to say they did, because evidently they did, even though I thought they won 29-20 and the other team was driving for the game-tying field goal. But evidently I watched it, and it was 10-10 at halftime. But I watched a different game. I evidently didn't get to see the entire game like everyone else did. I was watching something else. Oh, you got to give the Giants credit. There was a good game. It was a well-played game. I should rephrase that. It was more of a well-played first half. The second half, you kind of went into what I like to refer to as the Dable prevent defense. Dable prevent offense, where you take your shots, you do a couple things, but when at the end of the day, when you have the opportunity to put the ball in the hands of your quarterback to cement the game, you don't do it. And then on the third down play that Slayton dropped, everyone's blaming Slayton, even though the quarterback threw the wide receiver into contact. Well, that's okay, because what else would we do? What else would we do? We would you do that. He's been doing that for 6 years, so you got to sit there and think to yourself, you know what, self, and I say that to myself when I talk to myself. I'm reading comments ahead of time. I shouldn't be doing that. What's up, Mr. Weaver? But you got to look at this game as a whole. You got to look at it the game that if you want to call it a dominant performance, you can't. If you want to look at this game and say the Giants got the breaks that they got in 2022, you can 100% say that, because how many times we went over it with the video today. It was not a penalty. Isaiah Simmons leaping over the line. It was not a penalty, because we went through it all. If you're within 1 yard of the line, it is not a penalty. And you can still do what he did and not be a penalty. Now, if you take a look at the two defensive linemen, technically that can be construed as holding, because of the fact that, but you also have to remember that the two offensive linemen went low and the Giants linemen kind of just held them down a little bit. So you gotta look at all the regards and all the pomps and circumstances. We're not going to go through that, because we did the video about that today. We read the entire we got it from the NFL rule book and literally read it directly from the NFL official rule book about why that was not a penalty. And I love the people that didn't even watch the video, and the first thing out of their mouths were, "You're just negative because of the fact that wasn't a penalty." Yeah, okay, morons. I went through a 10-minute explanation why it wasn't a penalty. But instead of actually, I don't know, watching, you leave a stupid comment. Explain that one to me. Hopefully James Williams is going to come in, because I literally, it's funny. I literally just finished cutting the James Williams, the Angry Black Man theme music. It's in its rough stage, but we finally cut it. You got to give big props to Tyrone Tracy. Nice game. I love the fact that he ran into the pile and he looked like he had good looks like he had good vision in reference to finding the hole, finding the open seam, and getting the gains that the Giants need, because the running game has been lacking with Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary at times, yes, Angry Black Men may. We are going to have the James. I'm waiting for James before we play the Angry Black Man segment music. It's funny, because I literally came down 10 minutes early and just came up with something. So it's not done yet, but we're going to get there. So you got to give big props to the defense, who now I believe is second in the league in sacks with 20. And it's funny that we're not even getting the necessary rush needed from Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau. And I believe Dexter Lawrence leads the team with 6 sacks. And like I said, we talked about it in the video today. I find it interesting that on pass rushing downs, they are moving Dexter Lawrence into the defensive end position to try to generate some type of rush or generate something to get at, to, get a little bit of giddy up after the quarterback. And I think that's a great thing. But I do think there is an immense overreaction to this win. And there's this immense overreaction to Daniel Jones and how he is now the Messiah again. And it's funny because the content creators that were putting Jones down and literally just saying, "Hey, listen, this guy isn't it. This guy isn't the player that we need to be," are now saying how wonderful he is. Do you literally break your fucking ankles jumping off the bandwagon and jumping back on again? Or do you wear like ankle guards? Because it's fucking dizzying. It makes me dizzy. It literally makes me dizzy to watch people do this. And then I love it because people go to me, "Well, you just never change your mind." Well, I don't change my mind unless there is something to change my mind about. And then I had a moron today go to me, "Well, you're always just negative." And I love it because you've been negative since 2019. Okay. And I love it because we had a young subscriber who's actually in college now, which is crazy to me. And I love it because everyone always talks about the negativity, and he went back and looked at something like 15 or 20 different videos. And he gave an interesting statistic that if I did like a 10-minute video, I think he said that 8 minutes of the video could be positive. And then I literally go into things that need to be worked on, things that need to be looked at, and things that need to be fixed before next week. And there's like a 2-minute segment of it. But that means I'm negative all the time. You know what? I need to read some chats here. Oh, dear Lord. Why do I feel Tim is going to snap? I'm going to snap in a little bit. Don't you worry. I've been waiting for this all day. Who's Tim taking out? Oh, we got a list. Mike Lee says, "Good evening, Tim and fellow religious members. Smash the like button on the way in." Who said it is only one channel? People that are morons. James Stein. What does James Stein say? "The Giants played a hell of a game. All three units balled out, delivered a great win to keep our season alive. Two big stars were Tracy and Jones. I hope the Giants keep it going." I don't think. Okay, we're gonna get into why Jones is not the star, but that's okay. What is Massey got? Thank you for the super chat, sir. Tim. Hey, Tim. The defense finally is getting used to their sack and turnover dances. They've been practicing. Well, the problem is this, my friend. Kayvon, and Brian Burns have been practicing. Dexter Lawrence is always just doing the sexy Dexy dance. I love it. Something T-Bag's taking me angry. T-Bag, you're in the chat. I'm gonna get to the angry man segment in a minute. Yeah, but they're already there. Dex has got he's got his own dance. So, I just find it interesting that we're second in the league in sacks at 20, and we're not even getting the big performance in reference to our big sack guys. And I think that's going to be the interesting part. That if you literally take a look at how the Giants defense is performing, I don't want to say at times it's being done by mirrors, but it's going to be interesting that through 4 games, you're going to hope that your sacks continue, because you got to remember, you think to yourself, Dexter Lawrence was 6 sacks. You would say, well, who is next in line with sacks? You would assume it would be either Brian Burns or Kayvon Thibodeau. No, it's Jason Pinnock. And then you got a bunch of guys with 2 and DJ Davidson. Then you get Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns. And then you got a bunch of guys with a half a sack with McFadden, Okereke, Phillips. You got the Nacho Man, Azeez Ojulari, who's been a little bit of a disappearing act recently, and Mr. Chapman as well. So you really haven't even been generating the power and the rush with your big guys. And I'm just glad they're getting to the quarterback. That's all I care about. Chat Sport is back on the bandwagon because Chat Sports are a bunch of fucking idiots. That's why. They want to be YouTube famous. You know what? I'm famous in real life because I'm awesome. They should try it. They should try coming to the real world, because that's where I live. That's where I preside. But that's what kills me. Everyone now, after 2, honestly, 2 good halves, and I even said that in the video today. He had a good first half, a great first half. Not so much in the second half. Same last week. He had one good half. So in 5 games, he's had basically a game if you combined everything. This is what fears me, and this is what keeps me up at night, that we are literally going to win like 7 games, and then people are going to say, thank you, Michael. I got to be the man when you're the man. How? I mean, literally, we are going to go 7. We're going to win like 7 fucking games, knock ourselves out of the top 10, and be stuck with this numbnuts for year 7, which I have been saying since the beginning of training camp. And he's going to have and people are like, well, you called him an average quarterback. He is an average quarterback. Do you want me to spell it for you? I know it's a 2-syllable word, but I will spell it for some people if I have to. He is an average NFL quarterback. How do I know this? It's been 6 years. And I even posted on Twitter today, he is such a polarizing figure. This fan base is never going to come together until he's gone. Because you're going to have a segment of the fan base that no matter what he does, he cannot do anything right. You're going to have another segment of the fan base that's going to sit there and tell you that even when he has one good game out of 6, that he is the Messiah, and no one's ever going to come back together again. And I think that's what people need to look at. I think that's what people need to have the reality and understanding about. Because if you don't, and if you can't come together and you can't figure that out, you're going to have a very, very long season, and you're going to have a very, very long wait till you find another quarterback. If you keep convincing yourself that garbage is trash, it's always going to be trash. It's not going to be any better. And for the fact, T-Brad says your 7 is the charm. For the fact that people have to sit there and come up with reasons, and I love the apology for him as well. And I love it again. Here's the Daniel Jones apology for him. So if he throws up a stinker at home where he's 1-12 and hasn't thrown a touchdown pass in MetLife in 600 days, if he throws up a stinker against the Bengals, what are we going to do now? We're going to go back to he sucks again. It's fucking dizzying. It literally is. And for people to say, well, you take a long time to change your opinion. I don't change my opinion after a game. I don't change my opinion after a half. Because it's not a fan channel. I've said that a million times before. I am not sitting there and trying to placate the egos of people who need their fucking ego stroked because of the fact that they can't sit there and understand that, you know what? You're not as good as you think you are. You're not as bad as you think you are. It's to point out issues. It's to point out understandings. It's to point out what's going on in the NFL, what's going on for the New York Giants. It's not for you to sit there and have you make him. If you want me to blow sunshine up your ass, I will. I'll blow sunshine up your ass all day long. But to sit there and have this mindset after one game and after you disappear for weeks and then come back on like it's like you've just reinvented water because a guy threw for 250 yards and is an average quarterback and did his job. I'm sorry. What's up, Mark? Mark Hernandez, all the way from Barbados. What's going on? I love it how I could just break into a rant and just all of a sudden stop. I can stop on a dime and give you 9 cents change. But that's the problem. You sit there and you think after. I love that line, though. You're right.
You were the chosen one.
That's right. You were the chosen one. And then I see some morons on Twitter that are like, well, it's a good thing that Malik Neighbors wasn't in the game. I literally had to pause when I saw that. I literally had to pause when they said it's a good thing that Malik Neighbors wasn't in the game because it gave Daniel Jones an opportunity to throw to other people. That's how stupid a segment of our fan base is. Literally, that's how stupid they are. That it was a good thing that the 6th overall pick, who was supposed to save the career of your quarterback, has a concussion, which was caused by your quarterback because of the fact that he has the ability now to throw to other wide receivers. That's what set me off today. I was like, the stupidity alone for that statement was dumbfounding to me. Oh, gosh darn it. The damn camera link is moving again. I got to turn this freaking thing off. That's what really set me off today. That this is what our fan base thinks. They literally, some people in the fan base literally think this, that we were better off without Malik Neighbors in the game because Saquon, because Daniel Jones can now focus on throwing to other people. I am literally going to drop some knowledge here, and I'm going to give you a hint. Saquon Barkley. I keep thinking Saquon Barkley. Daniel Jones can literally throw to other people when Malik Neighbors is in the game. It's all right. You can look other directions when Malik Neighbors is in the game. Well, thank you again, Massey, for the super chat. We got here one more thing with Baker Darnold, Kirk balling out. Do you think it may make Dable change his mind and get experienced free agent versus getting a rookie? It's funny. You forgot Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, at 947 years old, threw for over 350 yards and 3-4 touchdowns in that track meet against Jacksonville. I was actually watching that game, and every time I turned around, the wide receiver wasn't even involved in the game plan for the entire game. Literally did nothing for 3 quarters, and then he gets 3 touchdowns of 50 yards and more. And Flacco just dropped it on a freaking dime. You sometimes you gotta strike. You gotta catch lightning in a bottle. And I think the thing is with Darnold, I think Darnold came down to earth a little bit. Kirk Cousins is just Kirk Cousins, and Baker's been a godsend at going to Tampa after everything that, after the departure of Tom Brady. I mean, but we sit there for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns and be like, that's the greatest game ever. We have literally lowered our standards as Giant fans in reference to where we're at in regards to quarterbacks. I mean, seriously, you take a look at take a look at Joe Flacco. Prime example, not Shane Falco, but look at a guy in Joe Flacco, 39 years old, just lights it up after Richardson goes down the other week. Completes 70% of his passes, 527 yards, and 5 touchdowns in 2 games. Yes, the majority came in there. And you even see the likes of Trevor Lawrence turning the corner. You have Jaden Daniels, who's putting on a freaking clinic. Jaden Daniels is like beyond anything that I have seen come in as a rookie quarterback. Even though he had a bad game, supposedly against the Browns, because he only completed 56% of his passes for 238 and a touchdown. And the games prior was 86% of his passes, 91, 79, 70. It's 4 touchdowns. He's thrown for over in 5 games. He's thrown for over 1,135 yards, and is a rookie. A rookie is doing this, but we have a 6-year veteran that we have a segment of the fan base that creams himself when he throws for 150 yards or 200 yards, when that's the NFL average. And that's why I call him average, because when you complete the NFL average of something, that's what you are. No, it has nothing to do with losing or lost. You came in late. You came in late. Give me a little hint. Don't say something stupid until you get in and hear the whole conversation. It'll make your life a hell of a lot better. But I'm answering also a chat. So, what's up, Omega Supreme? Tim, James, chat. I'm at work tonight, but just stopped in to say, hit the like button and say, what's up? Mark from Barbados says, don't really care about DJ as long as the team is winning. I'm tired of losing. Oh, I'm tired of losing too. I'm a season ticket holder. I say it all the time. I'm sick of losing. Sick of paying all this money for tickets. And I always love when people tell me, well, you don't have anything invested in this. Oh, really? I write a check to the team every year. Do you think they have to Jones their plans for 2015? That means they are moving on from him. No, they're not. I keep telling everyone he's going to be back next year. He's going to be back. And that's why I've said it before, as a fan base, you are literally never going to find peace, find that common chi. You're never going to find it because
You were the chosen one.
he's the chosen one for a segment of the fan base. They say politics is polarizing. Trump and Harris, that's nothing compared to Daniel Jones haters and Daniel Jones lovers. There's nothing involved. There's nothing worse than that. What do we got here? No, I won't ever change my mind that he is not the guy. He's a backup. Anyone can get it. Anyone can get it. I love that. Mr. Roberts says, it was a good one for the Giants, but I feel like the Seahawks coming off a short week and a big shootout, gassed them out. Got to take the wins. Oh, listen, you got to take the wins when you get them. 100%. I agree with that 1,000%. But to your point, they played a gasser on Monday night in a shootout, which they lost. But like I said, you got to just play the people on your schedule. And that's what I've always said before. I don't fault the team for winning, but I fault the fan base for having this misconception about how they won. Well, like I said, it was 10-10 halftime. You dominated the time of possession in the first half, and all you came up with 10 points. Your offense only came up with 23 points. The other 7 came from your special teams. And I'm going to say it all. I'm going to say it. I say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to scream it to the rooftop. Don't piss down my leg and tell me it's raining. What do we got here? Good. Speaking facts. Mr. Alvarez is speaking facts. Hey, Tim, let's go G-Men. It's always going G-Men time. Kevin, what's going on, everyone? What's going on? Good morning, Kevin. Swing culture. We're going to win enough games where we don't draft a quarterback. Well, that's exactly what's going to happen. That's literally exactly what's going to happen. We are going to win enough games that we're going to screw ourselves out of getting a quarterback. And then, like I said, we are going to, and it's not even a great quarterback class. So we are going to do that. And then we're going to have these up and down Daniel Jones time. And then people are going to be like, oh, bah, 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 bah. And listen, just because someone doesn't change their opinion doesn't mean they don't like the team, doesn't mean they're not happy for the team to win. You know what it means? It means you don't change your opinion until you have all the data. One half is not a sample size of data. And I said Daniel Jones had a great first half. I literally said that. And the people are like, well, no, I don't know. What's up, Mark? Actually, I'm from New York. Yeah, you're from New York, but aren't you in Barbados? Aren't you in Barbados right now? That's why I call you Mark from Barbados, because you're from Barbados right now. When you called in, aren't you in Barbados? Star Wars in his house. Swing Culture said, I heard that stupid comment. Yeah, it was the dumbest comment that I've ever seen. That it was a good thing that Malik Neighbors wasn't playing on Sunday, because Daniel Jones could facilitate the ball to other people. Really? Diet Ghost says, as someone who came up with the internet, being a young millennial, you learn that most laugh at the stupidity because it'll never stop. Well, being Gen X, we didn't learn a lot. we weren't. I love it when people that are Gen X talk about drinking out of the water hose, and millennials and Gen Z and Gen Y are like, well, why did you drink out of the water hose? And it's like, because we weren't allowed in the house. So you had to drink out of the water hose because your parents basically locked you out. Oh, I love this one. Thank Rickson Converse. Oh, I love Converse. Let's see. DJ, great. This is a great comment, though. DJ is a teaser. I would still take a quarterback and wait for Archie. I still would take a quarterback or wait for Archie Manning. Daves dominates time of possession. That's coaching. I give Dave's credit I give Dave's credit all the time. I give Dave's credit 100%. Dave's had a great offensive game plan, but the problem with Dave's problem is recently he goes into the tank in the second half. He'll get a lead and he sits on the lead. I can't remember who it was, and I want to give him credit. In the chat today, they were like, well, it reminds me of North Carolina basketball with the old Dean Smith days early on in his career, where he would get a lead and he would basically just sit on the lead. he would hold the ball for like, he would have his offense hold the ball for like 47 and a half minutes before they shot. And he would win games 12-6. I mean, I'm exaggerating, of course, but like I said, you can't sit on the league in the NFL. You got to keep pressing the ball down the field. You have to have confidence in your ability to move the ball down the field and do what needs to be done to win games. That's what you have to have confidence in your ability to do. And I just see some of these games. James Williams, every agent doesn't always make back to base. You're right. We have the new James Williams Angry Black Man segment coming up. We have a new sound effect for that. I like I said, I went to the Beat Laboratory, and today I created the James Williams Angry Black Man theme music. New York Knicks Unleashed, the new pod. We did New York Knicks 3-and-D last season. We're doing New York Knicks Unleashed this year, and we're gonna do more video. We're gonna do a lot more pods in reference to the Knicks video. So, but the thing is this: I have 2 pod covers, and I love it because no one can ever really give me or identify to me which one they think is best. So here we go. We got both covers right here. So what you got to pick. Do you like we're going to say the left side or the right side? So everyone take a look at the pod covers. Take a look at them, and I want you to put in the chat whether you like the left side, which is Jalen Brunson, or the right side, which is just kind of something I was working on, just having kind of fun with it a little bit. So you got to pick which one you like. I want you can put an L or an R, either or. Right. It's so funny that the like anything else that I do is polarizing, because I've been asking people all day long, and I think we're at like 12-12. I'm like, can I just get an answer about which one people like? So what do we got here? We got right, left, right side, left side, left side. Oh my God. See, this is not helping me any. This is not helping me any. I know it's going to happen. I'm going to count these votes up, and it's going to be exactly the same. I have this feeling. I don't know how to do a poll. My wife says, stop being lazy, do a poll. If I knew how to do a poll here, I would do a poll. I don't know how to do a poll. You know what's funny about me? Orange or black? Oh, no, I like left or right. My wife wants to do orange or black. I like left or right. So I'm going to close the poll in a moment. So we're for the new pod, New York Knicks Unleashed, the 2024 season. We're actually going to launch the pod Wednesday night, courtside at the Knicks. That's gonna be we're gonna launch everything while we're at courtside Monday night at the Knicks. So Wednesday night at the Knicks. I'm gonna be there with the Big L Gigante. So make sure you make sure. I got something coming in here from the command central. The poll is closing in a minute, and let's see here. And the poll is now closed. I don't know how to do a poll. Where's Zach? Well, the poll is now closed. Wait, intro, outro, background, theme music. Hey, there's music here. I didn't know we got music. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got music coming up here too. All right, so let's go to the comment section and see where we ended up. All right, let's see. Do I have a pencil? Okay, hold on. All right, here we go. I'm gonna add this up. If it comes out even, I quit. If it comes out even, there will be no Knicks podcast. So we're gonna go left and right. Okay. I love when people have a poll. Sure, that's what we'll do. We'll have a poll. I think I just did a poll. Let's see here. So we have one right. Your left or my left? Oh, I said the same thing. So we got right. Okay, left, right, left. Oh, that's funny. We're 3-3 right now. There we go. 4. All right, the left is coming up strong here. No, wait, that's screwed up. We are tied again. Do a poll. Left side. Okay, I don't like either. Okay, Jay. least Jay's honest. Okay, we got right. We got left. Okay. All right. The poll is officially closed. Oh, no, we got another left. Okay. The poll is officially closed now. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 for the right. All right. There we go. There we go. See that? We're very, we're very, what you call it here. Said what I said. What did you? Well, you don't like me reading your comments on the thing, so don't keep texting me with the comments. I like Mr. Al Colors Lovers. It's left, 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 right, left. Oh, I gotta get to the big old super chat here from Rickson again. The Giants have pieces. Imagine Dave's with an above-average quarterback, electric top defense equals Super Bowl contender, missing pieces quarterback. Yeah, I mean, Dave's is putting together. Shane Bowen's putting it together. Shane Bowen's had a great 2 weeks, 3 weeks in reference to his game plan. So I mean, I literally think that's awesome the way he's been calling the games. I mean, I do think it's phenomenal the way he's been the way he has literally been balling out here. So we have to take all that into consideration as well. But like I said, I think Dave's, if he had more trust in his ability for his quarterback, I do think that he would have more of an opportunity to really do something special. And I think it's that lack of trust that is leading to him at times to turn around and kind of just say, hey, listen, you know what? We're really not where we need to be, that I have the confidence enough in the ability of the guy that I'm paying $40 million to. Oh, I keep getting text messages. What do we got? Mike Lee says right side. That's 3 exclamation marks. Oh my God, Mike Lee. I'm not doing a poll. I try to do a poll, but I do agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Hey, J Sports Arts, king of the almost sack, did nothing in Seattle.
King of the almost sack.
Yeah, but he allowed me to play the sound effect. Mike Lee said, who said Tim's videos have no production value? I have great production value. And those that do not know, we have our favorite segment, which we like to do, and maybe we can coax him to coming on the show later and doing our segment that we love to do, we love to see, because it's just the type of guy that James is. And I am vamping because I'm trying to set everything up, because we have that new segment that everyone loves, and I can't find it. There it is. We got the new segment that everybody loves. It's ready. James Williams, angry black man, bringing the anger along with the funk. Because James always brings the funk. We're gonna have the James Williams angry black man segment sooner than later, because you know what? It always works out that way for James Williams. Oh, that's why I love James. I love when he calls me from work on the forklift. Shouldn't you be like, I don't know, thinking about what you're doing? Poppycockers will be the show on how to use the polls. Oh, the middle one, the one in the middle, says James. Honeybot says, drop the link, Tim. I'm not dropping the link yet. How about Banks showing up big in the game? I need to call him out more. And it was funny because I was talking to T-Brad on Sunday about Banks, and I kept saying to T-Brad, Banks is not having a bad season, because people talk about the 2 touchdowns that he gave up. It just happened. If you watched him, he actually had pretty good coverage on both those plays. It's just the wide receivers made a better play. And that's what you got to look at. And he played well. He played with the chip on his shoulder on Sunday, and I thought it was a great performance. Colorado. I don't want Colorado. People are happy about winning, and they're like, oh, we don't need a quarterback. Need to also realize they are still paying themselves out of the offer great first round talent, Travis Hunter. You're right. Made by Giants said, if anyone is falling. Yeah, call from Miami. We'll talk to them later. If anyone is falling If anyone is falling, why come I can't get the comment? Come on. If anyone's falling for Daniel Jones full gold, you'll also believe in Santa Claus. Wait, I believe in Santa Claus. When will the Mad Realmies of a Gen Xer return? Actually, there is going to be a new Gen Xer video tomorrow. There is going to be a new pod tomorrow. So you can see that on Rumble. You can see that on YouTube or any place a podcast. And actually, we got a really good response from the Howard Stern video. So I think that's a lot. What does J Sport Card said? But what about me, Carl Banks Jr.? Listen, I am not going to be making fun of Carl Banks Jr. anymore because I think that's just wrong.
Yeah, he should stop doing that, man.
I'm just saying. Sorry. You have too much fun with that sound bite. Oh, I do. I love it. Tyrone Tracy can run with patience and purpose. Bell-esque. Le'Veon Bell-esque. Charlie, man, and you know I love you. But there have been plenty of running backs who have had great first games or great first starts. So you have to take a look at that with a grain of salt. Because there's been plenty of them. I mean, the first thing I think about right off the bat is Timmy Smith. He ran for all those yards in the Super Bowl. You know, he had the drug problem and didn't do anything else after that. You remember? Did anyone remember Jonas Gary? 201 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yeah, no one's even calling Jonas Gary up right now. Steve Slayton. Can we go back to Steve Slayton in his rookie year? I believe he had 100 yards in one half. And then I believe he ran for like 1,200 yards that 1 year from 15 games. And then you never heard from him again. Peyton Hillis, the Madden curse crushed the bruising 6'1", 241 pound running back. He was even a giant at one point in time. And you got to remember likes Icky Woods, but Icky, of course, was more of an injury issue than anything else. So let's give the guy 2 games. James safety first on the job. Yes, James safety first, always on the job. James is always safe. What do we got here? He's the second player in 2 TDs. Really that bad? He has 2 second-year player with 2. Yeah, he's not bad. Giants need to stop going into the prevent in the fourth quarter. Yeah, the Giants kind of seem, like I said, they just go into this prevent defense where it's just like, guys, you got the lead. Step on their throats. Go for it. James says, Tim, G-Brad, unlike Daniel Jones, I know how to do 2 things at once. J Sports Car says, when was Kayvon? It looked like a ghost out there. No, he made some tackles. He did make some tackles. I got to give him credit for that. Hey, Mr. Albert says, Tim, I had a thought. If the Giants played themselves out of the first round quarterback and opt to go with the quarterback in the later rounds, who would you like the Giants to draft? In the later rounds this year, nobody. Because this quarterback draft isn't as deep as it was last year. It depends on what you mean. It depends on by what you mean later round. Well, you talking second round, third round, fifth round? Made by Giants says Jones will not fool me. Lol, 60 touchdowns or bust. I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying about Daniel Jones? This is what you need to do as you hit the like button. Daniel Jones needs to just be consistent. Daniel Jones needs to have the ability to matriculate the ball down the field. He needs to be consistent on what he's doing. And he also needs to have this understanding that at the end of the day, you need him to score touchdowns. I always tell you about that scene from the right stuff about the Mercury space program. You know, one of the things that what makes the rocket go up? Funding. No Bucks, no Buck Rogers. No touchdowns, no starting job. Matthew says, James, what's up, brother? CJ Spillner. Oh my God, CJ Spillner. I forgot about him. He was fast as fast could be. Tracy himself said he has to get better, and one game does not define a career. Yeah, I saw that. I already like Tracy after that. I forgot about that comment, Zach Attack. Thank you very much. I already like that thought process. That he understands that. Too many people believe in the oxymoron. Instant classic. Needs to follow up with good games with another, or it's just a good game. Mike Lee gets it. Why doesn't anyone else get it? DJ is the first half princess. He's not the answer, and can't finish. T-Brad says, who needs Barkley when you have Tracy? I know you're being T-Brad. I know you're being facetious. That's why I love you. Mr. Roberts says, also the Giants need a big body thumper running back. Derrick Henry's built to complement guys like Singletary and Tracy. Yeah, Derrick Henry looked awesome yesterday. I got to catch the end of that Ravens game. I mean, he had that. The funny thing is, at the end of the last run that he should have had a touchdown. Derrick Henry 3 years ago would have had that touchdown. Not now. You can speak on how and why Eli endorsed Daniel Jones so strongly to be drafted. I can speak on that easy. Eli Manning's a good company man. Eli Manning's a good Giant. Said it before. Eli Manning wouldn't say shit against the Giants if he had a mouth full of shit. He still wouldn't say anything bad about the Giants because that's Eli Manning. This is the same guy that watched his coach get run out of town and sat there and cried that his head coach got pushed out. Remember that. 2002 winning game 6-1 has set the team back 6 years. Well, actually, Zach, we were 7-2 before the 2-5-1. And that's another thing that set me off today because someone was like, well, you weren't even happy during the 7-2 run. And that's when the kid went through all the videos and like, Tim, he did like a 15-minute video. 12 of it was praising the Giants. 3 minutes are things they need to do better so they can continue. And people called you negative. I was like, you're right. Oh, my bad, Tim. I meant what players outside quarterback would you want in the first round if the Giants don't take one in the first? You know, it's funny. Like I said, I have gone against the whole Carson Beck thing. I'm starting to really enjoy Cam Ward. I think Sanders is just going to be, I think Sanders is going to be a bust, but I kind of have a feeling if Carson Beck keeps putting up some of these games that he's playing, he's going to go in the second or third round. If you can get Carson Beck late second, early, middle third, I would take Carson Beck late. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Eli Manning says the Giants through Eli Manning cursed the Giants through Daniel Jones. We all know what it is. We all know what it is.
This place is cursed.
It's the curse made by Giants. Says another news. Would you have thought the Giants led the league in sacks? I would never think the Giants led the league in sacks. I thought that was crazy. Actually, Zach Attack sent me that on Twitter today, that the Giants lead the league in sacks. And Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns in 5 games have 2 sacks apiece. Never would have thought about that, which cracks me up because the NFL Network said when we signed him that the Giants got a good deal in Brian Burns, but he's an 8-sack guy. So if you extrapolate those sacks over the rest of the season, it's between 6 to 7 sacks. Larry Donald cursed the Giants. How did Larry Donald curse the Giants? James wants to say, Zach, I fully believe Eli and Peyton were mad about us benching him for Geno, and that's why they endorsed Jones. I agree. I agree. Oh, the Eli Manning conspiracy thing. Eli Manning works for the team. Eli Manning has an office in MetLife. Eli Manning is part of this 16-year veteran, part of this 2-time Super Bowl winner, part of this organization. Eli Manning is never going to come out and say anything negative or derogatory against any Giant player. The same way Carl Banks has his moments and his epiphanies, and then all of a sudden turns around and says, no, I don't mean that anymore. That's literally what Eli Manning does. Oh, that was in response to James. I'm sorry. There was a James conspiracy. Cincinnati is going to be pissed, and we'll take it out on the Giants. Right. Oh, no, don't. Damn it. Now it's 8-7. Mike Lee says you can Mike Lee says you can beat me to the Carl Banks remarks in relation to the same Mannings. I'm still trying to figure out how to do a poll. What does this button do here? New layout, edit layout. Let's see here. Invite. Settings, stop camera. What settings? Okay, audio, general, layouts, guest, hotkeys. Okay, I'm going to go over here now. What does this edit button do? Hold on, I'm going on the edit button. Edit, what does that do? That does shit. What does this button over here do? Oh, wait a minute. What does this do? All destinations, post a comment to the same destination. Okay, that's not it. Banners. Let's see. What about a banner? Is there maybe an example of a banner? Okay, hold on. Let's see. Banners. What do I do with add a folder? No, I can't add a folder either. Branding, maybe? Maybe it's under branding. Branding? No, it's not under branding. Bueller. Video clip, background clip, music. All right, I got no idea how to do a poll. So that's all right. I'm always confused. Let's say I would love to have Cam Ward. I just think the Giants would pick Beck over Ward regardless of the circumstances if they decide to draft a quarterback, that is. I'm not a just don't hit the big red button. I don't, like I said, the Cam Ward, I mean, like I said, I don't know. What does this do? What does this button do? Oh, I could edit the layout. Oh, okay. What do I do here? Hold on. I don't know how to edit the layout. How do you edit things? I don't see what I'm editing. What am I editing? Garbage can. What does this do? Fill to fit. Change shape of container. Change border of container. Okay, we'll save that. Save custom layout. Okay. I don't think that did anything. I told you Daniel Jones is good. CB, cornerback junior. Mike Lee says, just don't hit the big red button. Look for the Monarchan settings or something similar. I don't know. Maybe I don't have the right version of this. Oh, settings. Here's the settings button. Okay, here's the settings button. Hotkeys, guest, layout. What's layout? Layout. We already did the layout. Hotkeys. No, that ain't it. Recording, virtual background, audio, camera, general. How about general? Landscape, portrait, appearance. Oh, appearance. Let's go to dark. Oh, no, I just did that. That didn't do anything. Well, I kind of like the dark setting. I feel like I'm Darth Vader. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Jay Carr, yeah, I know. I don't. You know what the thing is with the kid out of Texas is he's not getting back on the field. Archie Manning's going to play it. Mr. Alvarez pushed for Jones. Peyton hyped Adam Gase. Oh, I forgot about that in Denver, which contributed to the Jets bringing him as a head coach. Van hype up to the Mannings, but they set New York football back for years. I forgot about that. Mr. McCormick, what's going on, man? What's going on, man? I honestly don't think they will. We are stuck with DJ for at least 10 more years. What do we got, my brother over here saying? Well, so what is the earliest Arch can leave for the draft? Is it after the next season or 2 years? I think he can. I think he can leave. Well, let's see. I don't know. I think it's in 3 years. 3 years. So it would be. So this is this his second year, or is this his first year? I don't remember. It would be a nice dream, but if it's his first year, that's going to be 3 years. Joe had the opportunity to draft a quarterback and hasn't. What makes you think it will next year? Hope. Hope springs eternal, I guess. Aaron Rodgers looks shot, and you think if you're an old timer, you remember Joe Namath, those last couple that last year in LA at the Rams, and you could see that Joe Namath was he just wasn't he just wasn't the same guy that he was with the Jets, and his knees were done. And now you find out that it's Archie's second year, so he can leave after next year. If it's his second, I forgot what it was. If it's his second year, he can leave after next year. But he does look done. You're right. But it's nice to dream. Oh, I do. I believe I can dream. Archie's is in the second year, so he can leave after next year. Should we be under chat windows if you're a mod, which you should be? Should be under chat windows. What is chat windows? Maybe I'm not a mod. I don't think I'm a mod. I don't think I'm a mod. What's up, Scott? Hey, Tim. Joining late. Work. Great stuff. Thank you, sir. Zach says Shane Bowen seems to be adjusting while a lot is desired. Was Bowen failures in Tennessee due to Vrabel? Y'all know I hate Mike Vrabel. Y'all know I can't stand Mike Vrabel. Don't think Mike Vrabel should ever be a head coach again. Don't think there ever will be. But I do think that Shane Bowen's failures in Tennessee were his own failures. He's redshirting this year, even though it is his second year. Okay, so he did redshirt. So he did redshirt. He redshirted last year. So okay, I'm trying. Yeah, so then he'll be not in 2 years. Aaron Pennington. Yeah, that's another guy, Chad Pennington, man. When he went to Miami, he was shot. It's after next season, but Manning advocates going all 4 years, so we need to wait another 2. But if he has an injury at some point, thanks to COVID rules, he might be there longer. Oh, yeah, everyone forgets about the COVID rules. I forgot about those. Draft in 2026. Okay, that's good to know. Just wanted to let you know all the Ets are cursed. Mets, Jets, and Nets. Well, the Nets got cursed when they left the Meadowlands, or it wasn't the Meadowlands. Brendan Byrne Arena. Yeah, the Mets. Well, the Mets have been cursed since the Tommy Clavin game. I've said that, and the Jets have been cursed just because the Jets are cursed. Let's see here. Delete comment. We're gonna delete the comment. We're gonna put you in timeout. See, look at that. I'm yeah. Ban and delete the user. I'm working on it. Let's see here. Why? What do we go here? Let's see. Why not risk waiting for Archie when it's unknown how long he will be there for? Because you're not really gonna do it. The Wonka is cometh. If Brian Flores doesn't get a look for head coach, I'd be shocked. I'd be stunned. I would be stunned. I would literally be stunned if that happens. J Sports Car says, if Joe Shane is incompetent as Comrade Kamala, I don't think he's incompetent. I just think he's not good at his job. And I think he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. And, we've said it before. If you think you're the smartest guy in the room, more than likely you're not. And I'm not even going to get into Kamala Harris. I'm not even going down that slippery slope. I've never seen someone, and I'm a registered independent. I've never seen somebody never say anything about anything and may get half the nation to vote for her when she talks about how the other candidate is a threat to democracy, but she didn't receive a single vote in the primary. They just installed her like it's a dictatorship. And just a little fun fact. There's only 800 billion. This is going to be a part of this is actually going to be part of Get Off My Lawn tomorrow. There's only 800 billionaires in the United States, and less than half of them are nationalized U.S. citizens. And those 850 people pay 46% of the taxes in this country. 850 people pay almost 46% of the taxes in this country. And almost 50% of the population does not pay income tax. So when you talk about paying your fair share, wouldn't that mean that everyone pays something and not just going after people? And the one thing about inflation, inflation has not gone down. It is the rate of inflation that has gone down. And prices are still at all-time highs, but the amount that prices are going up has gone down, not inflation. So when they talk to you about inflation is only at 4.7%, no, that's the rate of inflation. That's not what inflation is at. But they don't tell you these things. And then you get people that talk about this and you're like, oh, do this, I'm going to do this. Yeah, all this money you're giving away, the small business loans for $50,000 she wants, that'll add $5.8 trillion onto the debt. Sooner or later, someone has to address the debt, because right now, we actually, our GDP is less than our debt. So the money we're bringing in is less than the money that we're paying out. So when people talk about, she's going to do this, she's going to give all these home buyers $25,000. No, here's the problem. You give the home buyers $25,000, homes automatically go up $25,000. Same thing when Obama gave away the $8,000 for the cars. Cars went up $8,000. Shockingly, electric cars, when they gave the $7,500, electric cars went up $7,500. I know. People are like, whoa, didn't see that one coming. Do your own research, people. Think. Don't just vote because someone is of a certain color, of a certain race, or a certain gender. Think to yourself, am I better off than I was 4 years ago? Because I'm going to tell you, no, you're not. You have people that are living not paycheck to paycheck anymore. They're living credit card debt to credit card debt monthly. And now you have people that have, the last 3 years, have accumulated so much credit card debt because of the fact that they're trying to pay for this inflation that they now have to make the decision: do I make the minimum payment or do I feed my family? Just throw that out there. I want Flores. I think he would have a shot. I actually wanted Flores. I've always talked about that. You can hire Joe Shane's kid. Joe Shane's kid was very smart. Thank you. You're welcome. Spot on, Ari, in reference to Kamala. Listen, I'm just saying, you were literally for 79, almost 80 days since you have been anointed by the dictatorship that you haven't even given a press conference. How do you go that long without actually talking to the press in a press conference setting? How do you do that? And how do people even know what she's about? Because the word salads that she gives, the word salad she gave today on Israel and the support for Israel, I was like, it's like, okay. I didn't want to get into that, but someone brought it up. Besides, I'm leaving in 4 minutes. So I'm going to talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about for 4 minutes. I want to talk about what I want to talk about. You can't vote for someone if they sit there and not tell you anything. Literally, the information on her website when she finally came up with her big plan, literally pages of that website were redirects from the Biden website.
And we are not going back. America is ready for a new way forward. We are not going back. We together will chart a new way forward.
Now, you know that comment right there she uses all the time? That's actually the comment from the new Communist Party. Seriously, I'm not joking. I love this. Hold on, this guy's got a great. Hold on, we're gonna play this clip for this guy because I love this guy.
We are not
past 10 years. I'm not even
Here we
together.
Go. This guy's great.
Forward. We're not going back. Together we'll move forward.
Just listen.
We're not going back. Forward together. Folks, this has literally been the slogan of the Communist Party for the past 10 years. I'm not even joking.
Literally, you could see it on banners behind the Communist parties. So you can't tell me she doesn't believe, well, her parents are Marxists. So I don't know. She's following the Biden playbook. Tim, the Giants just signed Baker Mayfield. I wish they did. Mike Lee let it out all about it. Mr. Rogers says, Tim, as a black man, you are speaking facts, my brother. I'm just telling people, you know, Mike says, Tim, you're a scholar and you're a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you. I'm just telling people, you vote for who you want to vote for. I'm not here to try to change or sway your opinion, but all I'm saying is look at facts. Look at facts. Look at the information in front of you and decide at the end of the day. And I love it how and what is she not going back from? Her bad policies that led to all this. And I love the one guy that was like, hey, listen, you know what? If you could fix all this shit, why didn't you do it for 3.5 years? And then she talks about, last thing I'm going to say, then they talk about how that encounters are down at the southern border. Okay, there's CP1 app that illegal immigrants are filling out. And what that does is it allows them to be processed through ports of entry, even though they're still coming in illegally and filing false asylum claims. The app is basically just deviating people from coming in through the border and having them coming through the app in ports of entries, even though they're still coming in illegal. So all you're doing is reshuffling the deck to go someplace else. You know she's a commie. Do your research. Wait, you're asking DJ Levers to look at facts. I know. I don't think I went crazy. What do you think about Jason Dart? Actually, I haven't got there. I haven't gotten to that point yet with Jason Dart, but I'm definitely getting there. What is people texting me about? She's unburdened by what has been. Thank you. Another one. Karl Marx. Thank you. Why? There's so many smart people here. It's so many smart people here. Very true. Everyone registered to vote regardless. I think this is an important election. You know, last thing. I keep saying this. Last thing. The state of Pennsylvania is controlled by Democrats. And I find it funny that Trump was at the Butler rally. And they were talking, and Elon Musk was talking about how you need to get out and vote, the most important thing you need to do is register to vote. The state of Pennsylvania, at one point in time, had decided to do a maintenance on their voter registration website the exact same time that the Butler rally was going on. I know. Shocking. The exact same moment that rally was going to go on, they were going to do maintenance in reference to voter registration websites. There was such an uproar in the Commonwealth. Thank you. It is a Commonwealth. And the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, they had to delay this maintenance. I mean, that's shocking to me. That stuns me. Tim, how do you feel about Vance as a future president? I feel a lot better than Walz. Walz literally went on an interview and said, I don't really think people care that I misrepresented, which means lied, about certain things. Do you know in Minnesota, this is actually a fact, you can look it up. During COVID, Walz sent out police with paint guns and literally shot people who were sitting on their porches so they would go into their houses during COVID. He let Minnesota burn and was happy about it. His wife said, I opened the window and I could smell the tires burning and it smelled like freedom. It smelled like you were ruining your own economy and hurting the own people you're saying you were trying to help. I don't think JD Vance is this great end all be all. But if you want to point facts at the vice president, you're going to have to take a look at Tim Walz and say, do you run? He literally in the debate said he was basically a nut. And that's your second in command. Can you imagine going to Russia or going to see Xi Jinping and you have Walz and Kamala Harris? Her voice alone may end the Cold War because they just been like, get that fucking bitch out of here. I don't want to hear this. But like I said, I don't think either one's a great shake, but at least Walz comes, at least if you look at Vance, he came from these humble backgrounds with his mother was an addict and he put himself through law school and he did all these things and he won all this, he won in the Senate, he did these things. And, he had the hillbilly, the book he wrote and everything else that became a movie. And he actually did things in lives and you have stolen valor Walz sitting over here and you have Vance saying, yeah, I was a combat correspondent, but I didn't see a lot of combat. But you got one guy basically talking about how he wants to ban AR-15s because it was a gun that he carried into war. First, most service members call it a rifle, but we don't want to get into that. But and then the fact is people's like, you never actually went into combat because you got yourself out of going to Desert Storm. You got to just look at facts. just look at facts. I'm a knucklehead too. Walz creeps me out. Reminds me of Cheney. Cheney is like, turn the page, says Jay Sports Guide. I'm turning the page because you want to know what the rest of the book's been pathetic. They talk about democracy. They mean they want control. Whatever they say means the opposite. Last thing I'm going to say. Last thing. this whole thing about freedom of speech and how they have to regulate social media in reference to what they believe is misinformation, when these are the same people that provided wealth of misinformation in regards to COVID to keep people locked down. Think about that for a minute. The same people who provided all the misinformation that kept you from going to your job, kept you from making money, kept you from leaving your house because they gave misinformation, are going to then be in control of what they believe is misinformation, and that you will no longer have the freedom of speech, and it could be legally prosecuted if they deem you to be a subversive. When Elon Musk talked about the First Amendment at that Butler rally, he literally talked with passion about it. And at the end of the day, you think about this and you think about his passion, but he's right. This is a guy from Canada. And he understands that you lose those freedom of speech. You lose those rights to say what you, of course, you can't scream fire in a crowded movie house, but you lose those rights. You lose those inalienable rights that the founding fathers gave you. And freedom of speech is a huge one. You have to sit there and understand to yourself, once those rights, the rights we lost during COVID are gone. And those are the rights they want to take away from you now under the guidelines is that we can't have freedom of speech. And if I hear one more moron tell me that all the founding fathers were old white men, most of these guys were in their 20s. Benjamin Franklin was like 37. I think most of the founding fathers were in their early 20s when they wrote the Declaration of Independence. But again, we don't want to look at facts. Vance checkmate the shit out of Walls. Oh, he did. He destroyed him to debate. Read 1984 or go watch the movie or Babylon season 3 or 4. The UK is jailing people for means. Since when have the good guys ever been one to censor things? That's the thing. You know what they tell you? They always tell you in a revolution. This is going back to like the 70s and the 80s. They always tell you in these banana republic dictators that the first thing you do is when you want to have a revolution is you take over the radio, you take over the television, you take over the press. And then once you control all those things, you control the narrative, you control everything else, and then it'll allow you to go and then take over everything else because you are the only one that's been able to provide this information. And that's what all the major networks do. Fox does it the same thing for the Republicans, but they're a little bit more fair and balanced about it. But everyone has their own agenda, and when you control that, and so if you allow the government to control the media in reference to social media, there's a slippery slope that we're never going to get out of. I mean, you're never going to get back. I don't think the good guys ever ran a campaign deleting babies either. I'm not even going to get into all this. Zach says, in fatigues to shoot people on tear gas at children. My criminology classes talked about how walls are authorized police brutality. You forgot the police word. You did. I think both candidates are abysmal, but one is definitely lesser of two evils. Listen, neither one of the candidates is that great. Both candidates have problems. I'm not going to lie to you. Both candidates have issues. But I'm always say the same thing, and I say the same thing over and over again. If you are allowed to think for yourselves and say, hey, listen, was I better 4 years ago or am I better now? And we're told that we're not going back, but we're not going back to the failed policies of the previous administration, which one person was a part of. And her thought process is to spend more money, which caused the inflation. Now they said inflation was going to be transitory, but we all knew that was a lie. And then you turn around at this point in time, and remember the American Rescue Act is the one of the things. It's not the singular thing, but it actually pumping that money into the economy when you had more money chasing less goods. Superheated inflation. And I can't remember who was the deciding vote to pass the American Rescue Act. I forget. Who was the deciding vote to sit there and pass the Inflation Reduction Act, which actually increased inflation, but it was more about getting the Green Deal passed. We spent what? How many? I think it was $500 billion or whatever it was. We were spending $300 billion on increasing broadband throughout the United States. And somebody was in charge of doing that. And not one person is on this new broadband that they never built. And then you look at all the electric chargers they were supposed to build. They were supposed to build thousands of electric chargers this year. Cars. They built 3, and 2 of them don't work. Can we think about that for a second? You spend billions of dollars to install electric chargers. You build 3 in 3.5 years, and only 2 work. And both of them, and 2 of them are in a garage in New York. You don't want to go back to failed policies. No, we don't. But we also can't move forward by having more spending and then understanding. Here, last thing I'm going to talk about. Last thing. This is it. I promise this is the last thing. Think about this for a minute. The go into the death tax. People are like, well, I'm going to pay it by having this death tax. We already have a death tax. We have the highest death tax there is. But what they're going to do now is they're going to tax you. The death tax basically taxes you on money that you've already paid. So now, and they're like, well, it's only going to affect millionaires. Okay. You're a farmer. Your farm's worth $1 million, $1.5 million. You die. You pass that on to your children. They now owe a 46% death tax on that farm. So even if you paid the farm off, let's say it was $1 million. You owe $400,000 in the death tax. And this whole shit about unrealized gains tax is insane. Even Mark Cuban came out and said this will wreck the stock market. Everyone will go to private equity. Because there would be no reason. He even said, Cuban came out and said, in my heyday, I never would have been able to pay the unrealized gains tax. You buy a house for $300,000. The next year, it's worth $400,000. So you've gone up. So your 38% unrealized gains tax on that house is you're then going to owe $38,000 in taxes on money you don't have because it's only equity in the house. The next year, it goes up another $100,000. So you owe another $38,000 on top of the other $38,000 because of the fact that it's an unrealized gain. Do you see what that's going to do to homeownership? Oh. Thank you for allowing me to get on my soapbox for a minute. Zach said the IRA $1.6 billion it was $1.6 billion on the broadband, and no one's on the broadband. Don't forget U.S. taxes on citizenship. We're not going to get into all that. Zach says if you look at one candidate, it's eerily similar to the Obama promises. That's the other thing you got to worry about also. Everyone talks about the Obama years like it was Camelot. The Obama years were terrible. It was in a terrible economy. And you want to talk about tariffs too. We'll talk about tariffs real quick. Everyone says that Trump's going to come in office. This is one of the big boogeymans that Kamala Harris has used. It's going to be the Trump tax. He's going to have tariffs on everything. That fucking asshole. He's going to tariff anything. He's going to tariff everything. Well, here's the problem about that. Trump, while in office, put all these tariffs on China. The Obama administration never removed the tariffs because they're reaping in the money. Do you understand why in countries like China and Japan and London and Germany and all these places, why they don't have American cars there? There is 100% tariff on American automobiles into those countries. There is 100% tariff. That's why there are no cars. That's why there really are no cars. And unless they are made, unless a Ford is made in Germany, you cannot import a car from the United States to Germany because there's 100% tariff on those imports. Tariffs are used as a tool to basically negotiate. And the deals that the deals that he negotiated Trump with overseas and in Mexico and with China were used with a threat of tariffs. We're tariffed on everything when we ship it overseas. He was just trying to level the playing field. And like I said, they hate tariffs so much, they never got rid of any tariffs that Trump put in place. They're still there. And let me just tell you one little thing. Oh yeah, we're not going to talk about the 401k. Last thing, I'll tell you what. One last thing. Yeah, it's going to wreck 401ks. They want to tax your 401k too. Money that you've already paid. So you may not think you're a millionaire, but let's say you have a couple $100,000 in your 401k. Well, that's taxable. So let's say they think next year your 401k is going to go up 20%. And let's say it's 200,000. Let's just make it easy. Let's just say it's just $100,000. So you're going to get hit with a $38,000 unrealized gain tax on things that haven't even happened yet. Thanks to whoever called Joe, Shane, and comment like Kamala brought this up. London is a country? No, London's not a country. You know what I'm talking about. I'm freewheeling today. Let's give them something to talk about. I'm just being honest. I'm just telling you, you know what? In this election season, make sure you go get off my lawn to Matt Ramsey of Gen Xer. I think because you got more fun stuff like this. Just remember, do your research, vote for whom you want to vote for. Formulate your own opinion. Don't take my opinion as anything. Don't take anyone else's opinion as anything. Just formulate your own opinion and allow yourself. I can't run for president. There's too many. Just remember, an indictment's not a conviction. But just formulate your own opinion. Do what you want to do. Vote for whom you want to vote for. But make sure you have the facts. Don't watch the commercials. Don't just look at the things that people say during these town halls and everything else. Look at their record. Look at what they've done. Make your own decision, but make yourself an informed decision. That's all I'm going to tell people. Be informed. Don't be a sheep. Don't sit there and be led down this primrose path when you know the fact that it's not going to be good for you. And if it is good for you, that means you probably have a lot of money. But just remember, more than half this country doesn't pay income taxes. They get checks back. 46% of this country is paid by 850 people because they are billionaires. Just remember that. Okay. Oh, the one thing I want to talk about, the Trump tax cuts, which expire in 2025. People forget Mrs. OBB for president. Yeah, she deals with me, so she should be. People forget those expired in 2025. They expire next year. So that extra bump you got in your check 4 years ago for those tax breaks that all went to the billionaires, that's going to disappear. You know that, right? And the corporate tax rate, if they raise it, which means we're going to do what they did in the Obama administration, and a lot of these companies are going to ship all their jobs overseas. We had the highest export of jobs to call centers under the 8 years of Obama than any other president. So just remember they're going, Kamala Harris has already said she is going to allow the 2020-25 tax cuts to expire, which means the moment it expires, your check goes up. Let's see. Sims commercial because an informed customer is our best customer. On the Giants pass play, 3rd and 4. Dable screaming at Jones for not targeting a receiver downfield. Looked like to me, he really did look like he was doing that. Why would they lie to you? I don't know. More like sainthood. All right, guys. You know what? It was fun. I actually enjoyed talking about that today. Kind of tired of talking about the Giants. That's why we're doing all the different podcasts. But get off my lawn to Mad Rail. The Gen Xer will be out. China has lowered their rate to 6% for corporations. They have. But we're not going to talk about that, Zach. New Nick Pod coming out. Will there be a giant video? I don't know. But we also have the new Mad Ramblers of Gen X. If you haven't gone see, go watch the Howard Stern one. Everyone seemed to really enjoy that. I want to thank everyone that hung out, all the 50-something people that hung out this long talking about crap. One day we're just going to come on here and just shoot the shit about everything. Anything you want to talk about. That's all I'm going to say. All right, everyone. I want to thank everyone for coming in and spending time with me tonight, talking about politics, talking about everything else. The Sims York Giant Straight Talk, Powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Thank you, everyone, for hanging in and hanging out. I'm out of here.